take Esther for a rip. Taking my dad's Mk3 out of the garage and she is looking mint. The fitment is a bit weak, definitely looks a bit better with some spaces on the... I'm not going to go too mad, Dad can clean his own car. Don't look too close, it is an absolute mess. Oh yes. Full of filler. I think I've got more filler on the floor than I did on the car. Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes and this week I've got a few days off work. I've got plenty to get on with all three old banger Ford Escorts that are in my life, and I'm hoping for a really productive week, but I think the weather's going to hinder me a little bit because we're forecast plenty of rain. Yesterday I took the prop shaft that I removed from Maude, my Maude Mk2 Escort in the last video, to Prop Shaft Services in Feltham. Now they're the guys that built the custom prop shaft for Esther, my ST170 powered Mk1 Escort, and when I took Maude's prop shaft down to them, they actually said that it was completely fine, the UJs were fine, and they actually said to me it was a really decent quality prop shaft. Because the prop is 25mm shorter than ideal, although they said you normally do get away with it being a little bit shorter, I've decided to get them to just replace the tube part of the prop because, like I say, they said the UJs were fine. And this is obviously going to be a whole lot cheaper than having a complete new prop built. So Prop Shaft Services are going to replace the tube part of the prop and obviously make it 25mm longer than it currently is. And they said it should be ready within the next few days, which is good. I've just dropped off Maude's diff to Southern Axles in Watford. I've still got to order the parts, which I'm going to be getting from my friends at Burton Power. And I'm hoping that all it's going to need is a set of clutch plates, obviously the pinion seal, and I'm going to buy a brand new crush washer and nut. The guy at Southern Axle said he's probably already got a bearing in stock for the pinion if it needs one. But yeah, hopefully it won't need the side bearings as well, because last time I got that diff rebuilt I actually replaced every bearing. I'm not sure on the turnaround time for the diff rebuild. He certainly looked busy when I went in there today. But yeah, I'll find out when I drop the parts down to him in a couple of days once I've had them delivered from Burton Power. I'll leave some contact details in the description for Prop Shaft Services in Feltham and Southern Axle Services in Watford. Definitely get in touch with them if you need any work done to your prop shaft or your diff. But right now, I'm going to head over to my other garage and crack on with something relating to my old banger Ford Escorts. Well, as soon as I got to the garage, I had a sudden urge to take Esther for a rip. One thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, the meet that I mentioned at the end of the last video, the South London Retro Power meet, actually got cancelled, but they're going to be rescheduling it for a few weeks' time. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to take Esther then. Right now I've got the rear wheels from Maude fitted to the front of Esther. I'm actually struggling to find any Nankang NS2Rs in 185/60/13. Basically there's no stock in the UK and the next shipment from Japan isn't until next month. So I might actually just get a couple of those Yokohama A539s that I used to run. So yeah, we'll just let Esther warm up a little bit, take her for a quick blast, and I might pass through McDonald's on the way as well. Thanks, man. M2 competition in front. Alright, let's get back to the garage. Alright, so back at the garage, I've tucked Esther away and we just had a bit of a shower, so I was just waiting for it to dry up. Now that it has, I've taken my dad's Mk3 out of the garage and she is looking mint. As you'll know if you've been watching my videos, up until the other day, this was in the very capable hands of my good friend Rob, who took care of a bit of paintwork. The rear quarter on the driver's side has been repainted up to this swage line here. He also repainted this seal area as well. And around the other side, he took care of some filler work on this wing around here, and he's repainted that, and he's also repainted this passenger side rear quarter, again, just up to the swage line. And Rob also very kindly gave the rest of the car a polish, and it looks so good now. The bonnet had some really heavy scratches in it, and that's come up pretty nice. The roof was really bad as well, and although it's not perfect, it looks amazing compared to what it was. This car realistically needed a full respray, but as I've mentioned before, my dad's not interested in turning this into a proper concourse car. We just really needed to paint the areas that were welded by KEMBER at CLUMPFAB. And yeah, I can't wait to show my dad the results. I still haven't washed this car properly since I got it back from Rob. I gave it a little bit of a spray with water just to get the dust off it, and I do still need to hoover out the interior and clean the dash and stuff. But I think what I'm going to do today is refit the rear bumper. I just spent absolutely ages looking for this plastic bracket thing that goes in the quarter there. What I'm going to do now is just give the area a clean that is behind the bumper. Just going to give it a wipe with some water, and then I'll go over it with wax as well. Alright, so it has started raining, which is annoying, but I've brought the Mk3 over to this area of the garages, and I've just been thinking if maybe these wheel spacers will make these rear wheels look a bit better. The fitment is a bit weak. I think these are 25mm spacers. I do have some 20mm ones. One of them is currently fitted to Maude because I'm running this Steely on this side, and I think the other 20mm one is in my garage at home. So yeah, maybe I'll put the 20mm ones on here eventually, but I want to see how the car looks with these ones. Question is, are these wheel nuts going to be long enough? Let's see if I've got some longer ones. Alright, so I've just screwed a couple in hand tight without the tapered washer, just so that we can bring the car down to see what the fitment looks like with these spacers. Definitely looks a bit better with some spacers on the back. Yeah, it's a lot better. So yeah, I think I'll get myself some longer wheel bolts and then we can fit these spacers permanently. But for now, it's going to have to come off because it's not safe at all having like one thread holding the wheels on, especially without the actual taper on the bolt. So yeah, that was definitely worth experimenting with the wheel spacers. Definitely going to be putting some sort of wheel spacers on the back of this car eventually, once I get some longer bolts. Now, one thing I didn't mention about whilst the car was with Rob is that we was actually able to adjust the doors a bit better, so that the swage line's a lot better than it was. I kind of assumed that the wing was too low because this car has had two wings at some point in its life, and I kind of assumed that they'd fitted them wrongly. But yeah, we was actually able to lower the door so that the line is a lot better. It's not perfect. It could probably do with going down a little bit more, to be honest, but it's better than it was. Yeah, the other side is pretty much bang on. So yeah, that's one thing that I didn't think we were going to be able to sort, and it wasn't something that I was really bothered about, to be honest. This car's never going to be a show car. Now, yesterday I removed the blue MH decal and put these Mk3 stickers here instead, and I'm going to put some MH decals, dark blue ones up here, but I forgot to bring them with me today. Now, if any of you guys want to grab some MH decals or any of the stickers, do check out my website. There's a link in the description. Let's see if we can get rid of some of this dust. That's hopeless. Let's try the wet microfiber method instead. Not going to go too mad. Dad can clean his own car. Alright, so I've just chucked a load of sealer under this dash where I welded in the battery tray years ago. Don't look too close, it is an absolute mess. I squirted all the sealer on there and then I realised that I didn't have a paintbrush to sort of smear it, and I like to do it with my fingers. So yeah, it is a mess, but it'll all be hidden. And yeah, I think it's about time I started putting some of this trim back in now. Put this sound deadening stuff back, which is probably going to get stuck to the sealer I've just put on, but we won't worry about that. It looks like I didn't put a nut back on this heater box. I should probably do that before I start putting the glove box back in and stuff. Put this heater pipe back on. There you go, Dad, all the mod cons. Got to have your heater vents working. Just got to figure out where this one goes now. Oh, it must be the driver's side one. There's nothing attached to there, so that must go on there. And then where does it hook onto? Looks like this one can't go on because of the power steering. Some of the air will get to it at least. Back around the passenger side, chuck this plastic trim on. Let's put the carpet up first. This wiring needs to go above these heater pipes. This is where we wired in the stereo. Okay, it's making funky noises. Covered in sealer. Right, now we can put the carpet back. Now we can put the kit panel on. It's got to go that way, surely. I think this must be for the other side. That's it, something like that. I was quite amazed that I was able to get this out without breaking it the other day. Quite brittle looking plastic. And hopefully we can get it in without breaking it as well. It's supposed to be a screw, goes into a bracket in there, but the bracket just wants to move away. To miss that one out, it's going to make it a bit unstable. Oh yes. Definitely starting to take shape in here now. Now I've actually got to get out of here soon because I need to rush home to take Kat to work because she's doing nights, and obviously need to get up early to pick her up from work tomorrow. But that's what happens when you're borrowing your girlfriend's car. But before I do go, I'm going to cue the music and get some shots of the Mk3. I've still got a little bit of time before I need to leave, so before I go, I think I'm going to throw some filler in Maude's arch and on that seal bit down there. I probably should strip all the red oxide off before I put the filler on, but I'm not going to bother. I'm not fussing with this car. What I am going to do is just sand down some of these lumpy bits of red oxide and then just key the whole area up and panel wipe it and then chuck some filler in. Fantastic. There she is, full of filler. Looks a right state, but I promise it will look better once I've sanded it down, hopefully. Not looking for perfection at all on this car. It's getting painted in matte paint anyway. Believe me, Maude is not a straight car. There's defects all over her and you never see it because of the matte black paint. But when it rains, then you can see that the car's all wavy. I think I've got more filler on the floor than I did on the car. Alright, so I've jumped back in Winston to make my way home to give my beautiful girlfriend Kat a lift to work. Definitely feels like I haven't done much today. But I did get to the garage late and I wasted a bit of time going for a rip in Esther. I'm not sure what I'm going to crack on with tomorrow. Probably going to have another look at my dad's Mk3 and just see if there's anything obvious that I need to deal with before I can try and put the car through an MOT. This evening I've got quite a lot of eBaying to do. Quite a lot of the auctions for my spare parts end this evening, and I've also got a load more auctions to start that I've already taken pictures of the parts of and stuff. So yeah, going to be keeping busy this evening and I'll be back round the garage tomorrow. So for now, I'm going to end this video here. If you did think it was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe to keep up to date with all my future uploads, and check the links in the description to my social media and my website. I'll also leave my email address down there for anyone who wants to contact me. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.